Gonna watch this video. Have you ever watched, this is one of my favorite like shows to show you different stuff people eat in different countries and the different things that they eat, and some of the stuff be kind of bizarre, and I love watching him. And dude's kind of funny too. So it's called the Best Ever Food Review Show, and I love it. I'm always watching it, and they be eating some wild stuff sometimes, and it's just a part of their culture, some of them. So let's check out what's going on this video today.
Our Ethiopian food journey begins here in its capital of Addis Ababa. With a population of over 5 million, this place has it all. A blend of modern buildings and infrastructure pushed up against outdoor markets that go back centuries.
Oh, this is great for B-roll.
Today, I'm on a mission to see what makes Ethiopian street food unlike any other country in Africa. All starts here.
This place is very busy, and you've just got vats and vats full of dough, fermenting flour. This is like the base of most or many meals here in Ethiopia. What is the name of this bread?
But I guess probably because they're used to it.
I know what you're thinking. Sonny, it's just a pancake. But no, this is no ordinary sheet of carb-heavy bread. Injera has secrets that have made it the foundation of almost every dish throughout Ethiopia. And here, at Abane's 5-year-old bread bakery,
Good day.
some of the most delectable injera in the city is being crafted. It's all about the batter. Here, it's made with maize and teff flour, an ancient cereal grain that's been cultivated in Ethiopia for thousands of years.
What is the secret behind making the perfect injera?
You have to know the right amount of mixture.
First, mix the teff flour with water and ferment it for 1 day. Add some maize to the mix and let the batter ferment even more.
Why do you want it to be fermented?
It gives it that sour kick.
That's a taste that people like here?
So definitely.
Measuring by can, splashes of that grainy goodness land on the sizzling hot griddle, resulting in an Ethiopian cultural symbol.
This is like a big,
And where your hands been? You can have that. You can have, yeah, I'm gonna say that's yours. I don't want to touch it. I don't want it. You touch
big,
it.
beautiful, sticky sheet. I love the texture on here because one side is smooth, then the other side is bubbly.
Seriously, what the fuck are you doing?
It smells sour. Can I rip off a piece? Would you like some? Please.
Oh, hell no!
Please. Okay.
Joining me, Mahi, a local content creator and a food enthusiast living in Addis Ababa.
I can't make a good injera like this. Mine would have like holes everywhere.
Is it okay just to eat it plain?
Regular bread. A lot of us this bread. We gotta have it.
Sour, right?
Sour, but it's not just about the flavor. It has a nice elasticity to it. It's kind of stretchy, a bit of a chewiness to it. Then the flavor just has some real punch. Oh, this guy. He's like, this interview is going on way too long. You busy? Checking Bitcoin? In one day, how many times are you personally eating injera?
3, 4, 5.
Really?
I could not personally go a day without it.
Injera. It's not just food, it's the implement, an edible utensil used to scoop up every last drop of deliciousness Ethiopia has to offer. Hearty stews, vibrant veggies, tantalizing sauces, or even this dish,
I just don't know, what are the effects of eating so much raw meat?
which we'll be trying
Cheers.
very soon. But first, taking center stage
Yeah,
is the
y'all
crown
wait.
jewel of Ethiopian cuisine, the national dish, Dorawat. Transcending time and tradition with a symphony of spices, tender chicken, and rich sauce. The dish is best served fresh, and it doesn't get fresher than this.
Holy cow!
What's happening?
I don't know if we picked the best place for an interview. Okay. This place is wild. Where are we right now?
We are in Mercato, the biggest, largest open market in Africa. We're gonna buy chicken for Dorowet.
The man looking like, what you talking about?
Dorowet.
Stretching over several square miles in the heart of Addis Ababa, this market is a hub of commercial activity, trade, and cultural exchange.
How often do you come to this market personally?
If I want to buy something in bulk, it's cheaper here, and you can literally find anything here.
What about the new iPhone? The smells in this market, especially where we are right now, there is such an aroma of mixed spices. Is this a country that really loves spices?
Yes, every plate that we have has many spices in it. The one spice that's almost in every dish is berbere, and it's a combo of different spices, but the baseline is chili powder. Dorot is very spicy.
I can't handle, my stomach can't handle it, Jesus. It's spicy.
Spicy. Are you ready for that?
Hidden within the bustling labyrinth of the Mercado Market, a humble food vendor about to whip up this country's national dish. In Ethiopia, instead of tediously plucking chicken feathers, the feathers and the skin are ripped off in one fell swoop. Then the meat is hacked up and soaked in a treatment of salty lemon juice. Next, the sauce. Saute onion with cooking oil. Then add the master spice of any good Ethiopian dish, berbere. Then water, garlic, and onion salt. Finally, add the meat, clarified butter, and hard-boiled eggs for even more protein. Let it simmer for 6 hours to achieve the rich and complex flavors that make it famous. Since Dorawat is a labor of love and a practice of patience, it's most often made in homes for special occasions. So food stall over Yidin Akachu has prepared this dish just for us.
There's a lot here. There's a chicken, there's eggs, there's the injera, and then this kind of stew all around it.
Do you know how to eat?
No.
Should I show you?
Yes.
Okay. This is your fork or spoon. Scoop it up. You can add the eggs or the meat if you want to.
This is the type of food, if you put it in your Tupperware container, it's going to be stained orange
Definitely.
forever. All right, so you don't want it too much on your fingers. Wow, the spice is nothing but kick. It's an extreme
comfort
flavor. This
food.
is coming from the berbere, right?
Exactly.
To me, it
like
seems the
soul
berbere
food.
is to Ethiopia what masala is to India.
Yeah.
How many different spices are inside of it?
More than 12.
More than 12. So, 13? 12 isn't a ridiculous number.
There are black seed, garlic, ginger, cumin, to name a few.
Turmeric?
Not really.
I don't taste turmeric. Erase that. It tastes chili powder?
Yeah.
A lot of chili powder. I got some chicken here. Oh my god. The chicken is really tender, very heavy, very oily. It's got personality, it's got flavor,
like it's
it's got
good
some
now.
edge to it. I'm in love with this.
I forgot to mention. So one of the reasons we eat like this is we feed each other. I'm gonna show you what we do when we eat together. This is called gursha.
So you met this guy today?
Yeah.
And that's normal?
Yeah.
Meals in Ethiopia are often served on a communal platter. Food is shared among family and friends.
Do you want some egg?
And the gesture of actually physically feeding someone is an act of affection
Don't be shy.
and respect.
Can men feed men?
When you're eating together, it's fine.
It's a ritual of bonding, a celebration of togetherness.
I noticed nobody's trying to feed me.
And I, right now, I'm definitely feeling the bond.
Very polite. How long have you had a shop here?
1 year.
Your shop is located right next to this very peculiar, distinct alley. About every 10 seconds, there's a man walking through here with a sack of coffee beans that weighs 220 pounds. That's more than me. Meanwhile, you have women lining the alleyway here. What are these women working on?
The world's most socially acceptable addiction can trace its heritage back centuries to the ancient coffee forests of the Ethiopian plateau.
Those are coffee beans that come from the farm. The women, they pick out the bad one. After this process, they get to grade it, and then it goes to sell.
Here, it's all about high-quality Arabica, consumed domestically and exported all over the world.
I know around the world that Ethiopian coffee is really iconic, but how is it perceived here in Ethiopia?
It's a very big deal in Ethiopia. You get to have it maybe 2-3 times a day.
Is Ethiopian coffee strong?
It's very strong.
But coffee here isn't just about flavor or a caffeine kick. It's about the experience.
I love coffee very much. That's why I open the shop and every day I prepare nice coffee. I serve people.
Oh, wow. Very nice mood.
Thank you.
Welcome to Teru's coffee shop. Right now, she's executing a centuries-old traditional coffee ceremony called Buna.
Do you smell that?
It smells like popcorn. That could be this over here, though.
Yeah.
There's the roasting.
So this happens. Thank you.
Are you cleansing yourself? What's happening
So
exactly?
you're smelling the coffee.
They don't do this at Starbucks at all.
Exactly.
There's the grinding.
Your pestle is basically a giant piece of rebar.
Some
So
of them are made of wood and some of them are like that.
Yeah, some of them come from like a collapsed bridge.
And the brewing. The performance demands full presence, urging participants to appreciate each step with great care and attention to detail.
That's like 15 scoops.
Don't you like your coffee strong and dark?
That's gonna be really strong.
Do you want sugar or no?
I'm just gonna go black. I wanna see what the coffee really tastes like. What is this one right here?
This is raw.
These are basically herbs. It's fresh. It's like a little bit fruity.
Oh, y'all be like this. Wired up.
And that's
Passed
gonna
out
give it flavor?
somewhere.
Of course.
You smell it? Yeah?
Yeah, really fragrant.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah.
I got a buzz.
Yup.
That's what I'm saying. Woo! I taste the roux a little bit. It's fragrant. The coffee is black. It's powerful, but it's still really smooth. Ethiopian coffee is like world famous, and I can see why.
Thank you.
How far back does coffee go in Ethiopia?
I don't know the year, but I know the story of Kaldi. Kaldi discovered coffee. He was herding his goats, and one of his goats went and ate the coffee, and he became very hyper. So Kaldi was very curious, what did he just eat? So he tried it, and he was hyper, and that's how it was discovered.
It all started here. Coffee is an amazing drug because it's said that the world wouldn't be even half as productive if coffee didn't exist.
And half as beautiful, I would say.
And half as beautiful, yeah.
Soon, we'll see how a whole raw animal carcass becomes one of this country's most unique food experiences.
Are these guys chefs or are they just butchers?
But first, once you've checked off Dorawat and coffee, you can't leave Ethiopia without trying this at least a dozen times. We've come to Hana Majay restaurant for this.
This one is Beyainatu. It usually ranges from 6 items or sometimes even to 30.
Beyanetu is a traditional, vibrant Ethiopian platter structured with injera as the base, then topped with an assortment of various colorful spiced up vegetables and stews. It's designed to be meat-free, yet it feels like nothing's missing.
So everything here is vegetarian.
Vegan.
Vegan.
Yes, Beyainatu is usually eaten during fasting season.
Are you someone who participates in the fasting?
Joining me for the second half of today's street food tour, Ada, an enthusiastic food lover who showcases the wonders of Ethiopian cuisine through her platform.
We have two breads. We have a middle bread and an outer bread. Which bread should I use?
You can go for any bread.
I think I'm overthinking. What are we looking at here?
This is called misir, a stew made with sauté onion, berbere seasoning, red lentils, garlic, and vegan knitter kiba, or Ethiopian plant-based spiced butter.
I like to combine a spicy dish with a vegetable.
Is it spinach?
Collard greens.
Collard greens. Cheers. Oh, that's fantastic. The greens give it some texture and so much flavor. It has a simple spicy tomato flavor, but then there's a deep savoriness underneath. Oh, that's fantastic. With the lentils that are in here, it gives some texture too, so it almost feels like you could be eating ground beef or something like that. It doesn't feel like something's missing.
Absolutely.
We have so many stews on the injera bread, but we have this on this side. Why is that?
Because that's the start of the show.
This is shiro, and here's how it's made. Sauté onion and garlic in hot oil. Then add water and chickpea powder and cook until it thickens up. Add onion salt, kiva, and bell pepper. Finally, serve it hot in a clay pot.
Oh yeah, look at that texture. It's like a melted gas station cheese. Toss it back. Wow, unbelievable. Incredibly creamy, savory, and it almost has a shrimp-like flavor to it. Did they put shrimp in there on accident?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
I think what could influence the flavor is actually the pot itself.
To me, it's unbelievable that there's no butter inside because it tastes buttery and it just has like a little bit of seafood essence that I'm dreaming of.
That's why they call Ethiopian food vegan heaven.
The idea of vegan food, has that been going on for generations, for hundreds of years?
Oh, absolutely.
Over 60% of Ethiopia is Orthodox Tewahedo Christian, who practice fasting more than 210 days per year, up to a whopping 55 days at a time. But to fast here doesn't mean to abstain from food completely.
Fasting meaning abstaining from all animal products.
Absolutely. And sometimes people also avoiding alcohol during fasting season.
That's not that fun.
But when the time for fasting is over, folks here approach meat with an equal and opposite intensity.
Can you tell me where we are? I don't know what's happening. Because I see meat here, and then I see platters here, and then it just goes out. And I don't see any like Korean barbecue grills. People are eating raw meat here, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely.
We've just arrived at Yilma Butcher,
Sir, put her there.
a 4-decade-old restaurant relentlessly focused on one thing.
First of all, can I say, nice rack. Your meat rack, it's nice. Right here, this one. Are you only serving beef raw?
Yeah, but he's saying it's our house specialty, but there are other places where you can also get goat meat or sheep meat.
The meat's looking pretty fresh. Could you slice us off a piece?
In this tradition, the butcher becomes the chef,
So he's slicing off what I would consider to be not a small piece.
selecting the freshest cuts of meat from the animal carcass and serving up platefuls to a
So
crowd.
right here we have the cubed raw beef. Now, there's nothing that unusual about raw beef. I mean, steak tartare, it's famous all over the world. In Japan, they have raw beef nigiri on the rice. Here, the biggest difference is this kind of presentation. The fact that you can see a whole slab of cow just hanging right here, and the folks here taking big chunks off of it. But this looks fantastic. Cheers.
Cheers.
Not too tough, a bit tender, lean, but a little bit of fat residue. Overall, enjoyable. What do you think?
It's my first time.
You've never eaten this? Mm-mm. Does it taste similar to anything else you've had before?
No.
Would you do it again?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, right there. Well, you can't ever reveal your weakness to me. Cheers.
If slabs of raw beef sashimi aren't your thing, maybe you'd prefer an Ethiopian beef tartare. This is called kitfo. The aim is to achieve a smooth, even, gushy texture.
Is there a certain cut that people prefer above any other cut?
This part right below the hump.
First, fresh beef is minced. Then add jalapeno, onion, and mitmita, a local spice blend. Add a touch of olive oil and mix it well.
This looks like meat heaven.
Absolutely.
It looks fantastic. I cannot believe it. There is a lot of raw meat right here. I don't think we should start with that.
Okay.
Next to the raw meat, cooked meat.
Yes.
Something you call tibs?
Yes, it means fried.
Tibs, a savory stir fry, showcasing tender pieces of lamb or beef. The meat is flash fried in hot oil before being sauteed with onions, garlic, and jalapeno. Serve atop injera, then it's ready to tantalize your taste buds.
Is this any certain part of the cow?
Usually the round beef is really good for tips.
Oh my god, this is like to die for. It's rich, it's slightly chewy, slightly tender, and 100% delicious.
Yes.
The onions make such a big difference because they're slightly caramelized and sweet. On the side here, we have some different sauces.
This is really spicy.
I think I can handle it.
Okay.
Is that too much? Don't care.
Okay.
Tolerable. I like it. The part that's throwing me off is that there's a ridiculous amount of raw meat. How many people would this feed? It's so much meat.
This could feed 3 people.
Why is raw meat such a prevalent thing in this country?
It's a delicacy here in Ethiopia. As much as there is vegan food, the meat eating culture here is also very huge.
Wow, look at this dainty little piece you gave me. It's so small.
You want a big one?
No, I don't. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a dip in the mustard. Oh wow. That mustard has like a little bit of horseradish or something in there. It almost feels like a hit of wasabi. For a moment, I felt like I was eating Japanese food. So here we have kind of like a steak tartare with spices inside.
I recommend the injera for this.
Yes. So treat it like a stew. Cheers. Cold, which is a good sign. You don't want it to be like warm. You don't want the fats leaking out. You can taste the garlic and the jalapeno. It's got some spice to it. A little bit oily in a good way. Overall, I like it. Is the meat gonna give me worms?
Possibly, which is why traditionally, after having a variety of raw meat, we usually follow it up with a traditional drink called arake. This is an Ethiopian version of vodka, if you will.
Oh, that smells really strong. All right, cheers to killing the worms inside of us.
Cheers. Yeah. Better than vodka, right?
Yeah, I feel very warm right here. I feel like I could put that in my gas tank if I ran out of fuel. This country is not a monoculture. There are so many different tribes, groups, ethnicities, people from different backgrounds, people with different recipes and traditions. So how does all that factor into what is known as Ethiopian food?
That's a good question. Ethiopian food is very diverse and offers more than injera, and there are even parts of Ethiopia that do not consume injera. So what you see here and what represents Ethiopia doesn't even scratch the surface to what the Ethiopian cuisine offers.
My team's only spending a couple days in Addis Ababa. Right after this, we're flying south and we're going into the Omo Valley where we're gonna film several videos with the local indigenous tribes.
Wow.
Do you have any advice for me?
I would say embrace the culture because it's quite different. So be open-minded.
So you guys tell me what you think. I thought that, and I watch him a lot, and there's a lot of stuff that just mind boggles me that, I mean, I guess over here in America, we don't eat, and they used to eating. And then some of them themselves don't eat. But the raw meat, I would be terrified because I guess we're not used to that here. We ain't used to eating raw meat. And like you said, you might get worms, honey. My stomach would probably flip out, and I probably had, you talking about worms, probably snakes. Honey, my stomach couldn't handle it, okay? So
No! God, please, no! No!
So tell me guys what you think, and all your Ethiopian people, wonderful, beautiful people. And you guys, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell, and so you guys can be notified with other videos. And then until next time, all right, we're gonna look and see some other tribes and some other countries and see what type of good stuff or different stuff that they eat, because that's, for some reason, that's just my thing. I just like to see it and just to know. All right, stay educated. Bye, y'all.